Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Personal Development with Udoh Victoria. I'm super excited to be doing this with you. Welcome to another week of endless possibilities, another week of achieving all your PDP goals and all the plans you have set for your life, So last week we had a quick discussion and talk about how to ace your job interviews, and I got lots of reviews. Oh, thank you so much for sharing this. I applied for this job and I'm going to apply these principles. I like the fact that a lot of people are learning from my YouTube channel. It's totally exciting. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for turning on your notification buttons and listening to what I have to say and the content I have to give you. This week we're going to be having another exciting talk, and this time around it's something that builds the foundation of your personal development, the core of your personal development. And today we're going to be talking about principles, habits, perceptions you should have as a person if you want to develop yourself and have the self-improvement and become a successful person. So don't go anywhere. This is Personal Development with Udoh Victoria. Don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to share, and let's just get right into the gist of today, because I'm so excited to share lots of content with you on how to build yourself. Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, and as I said, today we're going to be talking about the core of personal development. Now in life, you know that every building, every structure, every company, every building itself has a foundation. Every relationship has a foundation. Everything in life has where it starts from, right? And the same thing applies to self-development and self-improvement and personal development, because when we're talking about personal development, you don't just wake up one day and jump into it and be like, oh my god, I'm doing personal development and this is what I have to offer and I'm going to build myself. It starts from somewhere, and even if you decide to just jump into it and get over it, there are certain things you must do that would help you actualize those dreams and those goals that you have. And on one of our videos, I have talked about PDP, achieving your personal development plan. And with our topic today, you would get to learn things that would help you achieve your PDP. 5 self-improvement principles, 5 personal development principles you must abide by if you want to make it in life. Honestly, I'm saying this out of experience, because some of these principles are principles I uphold, and some are principles that successful people like Barack Obama, successful people like Whitney Houston, successful people like Beyonce, my icons, successful people like Konjiwela have mentioned some of these principles that you need to have in their interviews around the world for you to be successful, or for you to be able to make a difference as a person. And what are these principles? So now, the first principle you need to know, the very first one, is never underestimate yourself. Now in life, basically, you want to become successful. You have plans for yourself. You say, you know what, this is what I want to do myself. This is the plan I have for my life. And it feels like these things are not going well because things are just not working in your favor. You're like, maybe it's me, maybe I can't do it. My dear, no, never underestimate yourself. Never in this life. Tell yourself that you're too little to achieve anything. You see, as cliche as this phrase, if you think you can be it sounds, it is actually what it is. Let me give you a typical example. True story, right? I wouldn't say I've always been someone that had low self-esteem. I wouldn't even lie to you, but at some point in my life, as I had shared in previous video, I had this self-consciousness about my body, because I was mostly body shamed during my secondary school, right? Now that's not the gist of it. The gist of it is that over time, that self-consciousness turned into doubt as to whether I would be able to achieve and please people with my body size. And it felt like people didn't want to be my friends, or people didn't want to associate with me because of my body size. I was wrong. I have knowledge and I'm able to relate with people. I have social relationship with people, not because of my body size or anything, or because of my intellect or anything, but because I am able to have meaningful relationship with people. Now, most people have the problems of underestimating themselves and thinking, oh, I can't do this because People have told me I can't do it, and so you project that fear that people have on you. Never underestimate yourself. Once you make a plan, put in active measures, plans to actualize those goals that you've had at the back of your mind. Don't just think that it will fall from the sky and happen, right? Tell yourself, I want to achieve this, I want to do this, and you see yourself doing it. Put in effort. You want to make money, start investing, start doing jobs, go on Upwork, do freelancing jobs. As I share with people, you want to travel out of the country, start preparing your documentations. I mean, if you want to travel out, you obviously know you need a visa, a passport. You don't just wake up and go to the airport and say I want to travel out. Things don't happen that way. You need to be proactive about your development. Now, what is the second one you need to have at the back? All right, so what's the second principle you should have at the back of your mind? I mean, after you've convinced yourself, you've created a mindset that, you know what, I can do this, I'm going to put my all in it and I'm going to achieve it. So what is the second thing, you need to have at the back of your mind? Build meaningful relationships. People underestimate the power of relationship. How does relationship help you as a person? How does your association define who you are? How does who you walk with, who you roll with, who you eat with, who you sleep with, who you talk to affect you as a person? Let me drift spiritually. My pastor usually tells me that, or usually tells us that you're influenced spiritually by whosoever surrounds you. People have different energy, people have different gifts, people have different callings, right? Even the Bible says that we're all made differently. In as much as we're in God's image, no two people are the same. Now, the gift of this person may influence you either positively or negatively. That is why you have the phrase, show me your friend and I will tell you who you are. Not necessarily because you're that person or exhibit exactly what that person character exhibits, but because under the principles of life, every single person has the power to be influenced by other people. I mean, you grow up as a child and you're influenced by your parents, your classmates, and your neighbors that live with you. That's because as human beings, we are created, or we are made, or we have this modification to be able to adapt from people, adapt from our environment, adapt from our surroundings. That is why you need to be mindful of the kind of people you pick in your association, the kind of people you make friends with. Because if these people influence you negatively, your personal development line in this life would be in the negative angle. If the person influences you positively, then it will be in the positive angle. I remember I was watching an episode of High Network. I mean, most of you usually watch it's not a movie, it's like a TV series or a TV show that brings up top powerful women who have gone through a lot to share their experiences about how they have been able to, manage through all the, prejudices and reach where they are. And there's this particular episode of it, or should I say particular chapter of it I was watching that, showed the expression of friendship. And when the lady was speaking, I've forgotten her name, she said that back in school, she had lots of friends that would influence her and tell her, why don't you come, let's go partying? I mean, we're making a lot of money and we're doing this. Why are you so down in your books and trying to impress? Who are you trying to impress in this life? That this life, if you don't make it now, you're not going to make it ever. Enjoy your life. This life no be too, as most people that we know say. However, if you allow people to influence you negatively, your PDP would derail. And most times I don't blame people who do not have control over it, because sometimes we grow up, in fact most of the times we grow up with the inability to control our environment. You don't control where your parents live, you don't control the school your parents sent you to, at least not until your masters or so. You don't control the kind of friends or the kind of people that are in that other school. That is why when we talk about human behavior and how we perceive people in society, everybody plays a role. Parents, church, school, society as a whole. That's because all these factors influence you as a person growing up. But now when you become of age, from 15 and above, or 18 and above, or 21 and above, once you become of age and you begin to dissect or distinguish between good and evil. You should be able to have the mindset that evil manners corrupt good manners, evil company corrupts good manners. Make friends or make networks or build relationships that would influence your life positively. Don't build relationships because you want to build relationships. Always have a reason why you're friends with someone. That doesn't mean every single relationship you have should be beneficial. It should be, if this person doesn't have anything to offer, I wouldn't be friends with the person. But honestly, if the person doesn't have anything to offer, I don't see what you're doing with that person. Why? No matter how little it is, everybody should have value, some percentage of value in them that they can give out. That's why I keep preaching and I keep emphasizing that personal development is important. You cannot give what you don't have. You can't become friends with someone and say you want to help this person grow when you do not even know how to grow yourself. It's not possible. You can't plant beans and expect to harvest potato. It doesn't work that way. You can't invest so little in yourself and imagine that one day you become the president of this country by luck or by chance. In as much as grace is what follows us as individuals, and we really never know what happens tomorrow, you must put in the effort. And speaking of which, there's this catch line or phrase I want you to take note of. While preparing for the rain, make sure you plant. While preparing for this miracle to happen, for you to get one big connection, for you to be mentored by one of the best in the field, for you to be recognized in your industry as one of the leading founding people in that industry, for you to be recognized as the best student in your faculty, you must plant. You cannot be saying you want to graduate as the best graduating student of your school and you're not passing your grades, you're not getting A's. The school will not automatically say, okay, because you've been praying it in your closet, is going to happen. It doesn't work that way. While waiting for the rain, ensure to plant, because when you relate with people, you must share your plant, your produce. So while waiting for the miracle to happen, a means of planting is making meaningful friendships and relationships that would help you. Now the question becomes, what is friendship? What does friendship entail? Friendship is not when did you call me, when did you not call me. Friendship is not since you did not call me for 2 weeks, I'm not going to call you. Friendship is not, you did this thing to me, I was eyeing this boy, you now went and snatched him. That's not friendship. Friendship is, I see an opportunity, I share it with my friend. I see a job opportunity, I send my friend the flyer. I help my friend apply for the job. I mention my friend in boardroom meetings that he or she has qualifications to be in. I see a means of making money and becoming famous. I introduce my friend to it. There is no good that comes out of monopoly of opportunities, because if you don't share with people, there is no favor to return and you're just there. Grow with people, grow with your friends, because as Davido will say, if you want to grow, build your circle. Build your circle. Okay, so friendship and building and establishing good relationship is a second principle on self-development principles. What is the third principle? Something you need to take home. Something you need to take home very well. Utilize the resources you have to the best of your abilities. Most people wait for most people wait to have pot of gold before they begin to invest. The little amount of money you have, the little time you have, the little resources you have, at that point in time, invest it well. Over the course of this ASU strike that I've been at home, there are a lot of opportunities that have passed me by, because one, I'm not a graduate. I was meant to graduate this year, but because of the COVID and now, ASU strike is still whenever. Secondly, because I'm not up to age. Because I'm not up to age. Thirdly, because I don't have the qualifications to apply or to get those opportunities. Now, does that mean I would fold my hand and be like, these opportunities I would have gotten, I don't get them. I'm still a student, so there's nothing I can do about this. My personal development plan I have, and I say I wanted to get all these opportunities and become an internationally, globally recognized person. What do I do? Let me just stay. Let me just, give up. No, that's not how it works. You need to be able to make use of what you have now. As a student, there are obviously competitions, there are obviously programs that are being organized at student level. There are networks, industries that industries build for people that you can belong to. There are organizations you can be a part of. There are volunteer jobs you can volunteer to and make networks and build your reputation. Don't just sit and wait and say, oh, when I graduate from school, that's when I'll start networking, that's when I'll start belonging to organizations, that's when I'll start utilizing the resources I have. Don't wait till you graduate from school. It doesn't work that way, because if you haven't built a particular standard, we're going to get to the next one. If you haven't built a particular standard for yourself and you've aligned yourself, if you're not planting, basically, when the rain comes, even if you planted like this is what you would harvest at most. But if you planted like this, you most likely harvest this because you planted a lot. Make good use of the resources you have now, no matter how little they may be. If it can afford you training, go for it. If that 30,000 you have, you can afford you a training in one of the international institutes, please apply for it. Don't wait till it's 100,000 for you to apply for the global one. No. Start little, build little steps, start little, tiny drops make an ocean. Start little, because over the time, those experiences you get from those Zoom classes, those online courses would turn out to be a massive collection of efforts that would catapult you to another level on your personal development. Now, what's the fourth one? Set high standards. So I was reading Brian Tracy's book on 7 successful habits of people, and she mentioned Tracy highlighted something very, very important here, that you should set high standards. Ensure you set high standards. What does it mean? It means don't settle for less. Don't settle for less. Your dreams should be wild. My mom always says that if your dreams don't scare you, you're not dreaming. Your dreams, like the kind of motivation you should have to become a better version of yourself, should be one that when you wake up, you're like, Lord of Jesus, is it malaria? See yourself sitting among the top 3% of the country, or the top 1% of this nation or this world. See yourself high up. But like I said, you can't see yourself high up without putting in the efforts. Set high standards. Set high standards to the kind of friends you keep. I don't want to keep people who will keep me stagnant or who have mediocre mindsets. Set high standards to the kind of people you associate with, the kind of mentors you reach out to mentor you, the kind of industries you want, organizations and industries you want to belong to. Set high standards, because if your standard is here, even if unforeseen circumstances come, it will at most bring you here. It never brings you back to the bottom, because your standards were high and you were working towards that high standard. So even if you don't get here, you will get here. It's that simple. Set high standards. Set high standards. I'm saying it and saying it and saying it again. Set standards that define you as a person. Set standards that will propel you to the next level. Set standards that would align you with your goals and the dreams you have for yourself. That is why PDP is very important, because it helps you outline your goals, your opportunities, and it helps you with your SWOT analysis. And I'm certain I've mentioned this before. You're understanding your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It helps you in setting the standard. It helps you in knowing where do I want to be and how far do I want to go. Now, what is the last thing that we're going to talk about today? That important last principle that we're going to talk about. Now, lastly, the last personal development or self-improvement principle is never give up. Never give up. Never. Don't be a quitter. This might sound like a motivational talk, but I'm telling you that you should never try as much as possible. It's better to try and fail than to fold your hands and say you're not trying. Never give up. Don't underestimate yourself and say I can't do it. Never give up. Don't give up for any reason. Don't tell yourself I can't do this. Don't tell yourself I will not be able to sort it out. No, never give up. Don't tell yourself you are giving up, because the moment you give up, you wallow in self-pity and shame, and then you begin to, is this for me? Did I make the right decision? Did I do it well? Don't give up on yourself, please. Don't give up on yourself. Work hard. It gets tough along the way. Nobody said this personal development process is very simple, something you can just wake up and start working towards and say, okay, you know what, this is what I'm going to do, and you start doing it. No, nobody said it's that simple. But never give up. Work hard. Do your best and leave the rest for God. Keep praying and do your best. Don't just sit and fold your hands and expect that one day is going to fall from the sky and happen. Never give up. Never give up. Because the minute you make those plans and you start working towards them, with grace, you're able to achieve them. So what have we said in these 5 self-improvement principles? What are those 5 improvement principles, that you have to pay attention to? Set high standards. Never give up. Make meaningful relationships. I cannot emphasize that one importantly. Make meaningful relationships. Make good use of the resources you have and build yourself. And lastly, don't ever underestimate yourself. You can do it. I'm encouraging you, champ, and I'm looking you in the eyes. You're perfect, you're beautiful, you're handsome, you are loved, you're an amazing individual, you are an epitome of excellence, diligence. You are tomorrow's leader and you're going to be amazing. So I encourage you, whatever plans you're making for yourself, whatever plans you have for yourself to become the best version of yourself, keep at it. Don't stop. Never give up. Build required relationship, learn, and do the best things you can. And at the end of the day, you're going to be a champ, world champ that will be globally recognized for the great things that you're doing. I encourage you. Don't give up. Don't sleep on your dreams. All right, guys, we've come to the end of today's video, and I'm super excited because this part was like I was talking to myself. I was encouraging myself, and I hope you're encouraged too to build up your PDP and be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to Personal Development with Udoh Victoria. Don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to share, because you need to learn a lot from this content channel that would help you grow yourself. And until next time, guys, bye. Do take care of yourself and enjoy the rest of your week.